Hi everyone, I'm Eric Franklin with your Garrison Public Affairs, and this week on the Great Big Podcast, we talk about the annual Boot Memorial. All that and a little bit more on this last episode of the Great Big Podcast. Hey everyone, I'm Eric Franklin with your Garrison Public Affairs, and today we have in the studio...
My name is James Elsley. I'm the Program Manager for Army Community Service Survival Outreach Service Program.
And so tell us a little bit about what you're coming to talk to us about today.
Today we're talking about the Remembrance Display that's going to be happening in May during Memorial Day weekend. That's when we're going to put upwards of 7,800 boots on the field to memorialize those service members that died from 9/11 to present.
For someone who's never been out there and seen those boots, tell me a little bit about what it looks like and what it's all about.
Well, as I was saying, it's like 7,800 boots that's going to be on the field. Each boot will have a U.S. flag attached to it and a photo of that service member that served and his date of birth and his or her date of death on that boot. And it symbolized that their service that they did while they were serving in the military. I've
seen it for several years, and I know I have several friends, people who are part of my family who are out there. And it's not just from Fort Cavazos, it's from across the military, correct?
It's across the military, and you're absolutely right. 7,800, that wasn't just at Fort Cavazos, that's been all over the military. Right now, we are taking family members, putting boots out there from Fort Cavazos.
For you to see those family members who had a loved one and who stay in this area, come out there year after year to continue to that same tradition to put their boots out there. How does that feel to see those family members do that?
It feels like we're doing a service to them, letting them know their family members never forgotten. They made the ultimate sacrifice, and we're there to show them that we still know that they're there.
Memorial Day comes up once a year, and a lot of people out there may take that time to go barbecue and fellowship with their friends and family. But for you, what does Memorial Day mean?
Memorializing those service members that made the ultimate sacrifice. If you are celebrating, hopefully you're celebrating their life and the service that they provided to this country.
And so for you, were you in the military or?
Yep, I served 22 years.
And you were stationed here of course, at Fort Cavazos, if you're here.
Nope, never here. I retired out of Okinawa, Japan. I spent 20 years as a mortuary affairs specialist.
Okay. So you were in the Army as a mortuary affairs?
Absolutely.
And so for you, this is, you've seen this on the other side. Absolutely. Of, actually taking care of the remains of those service members after they passed. So how is it to see, knowing that you see people in their final moments, and how is it to see how their legacy continues on?
Well, it's my way of giving back. Whatever I can do to make that transition for that family members a lot easier. We always say we provide them closure. I never believe in closure. I always think it's a different journey, a new journey that they're on. And whatever I can do to soften that blow, and that's what I want to do.
Okay, and so you said that you did 22 years in the military. For you, what was the biggest takeaway for you and how service members honor their other fallen service members?
Like for the Memorial Display, those guys and girls come back from all over the world for this particular weekend to see their love, their service member that passed away, to see their boot, just to be there with them, and just to show that tribute to them.
And how long, when does the boot display start, and when is it going to end this year?
It's going to start on May 23rd, and it'll be out there from May 23rd to May 26th.
And it's rain or shine?
Rain or shine. Well, that's the plan.
Okay.
That's the plan. Unfortunately, last year, the weather got bad. It was pretty bad, and we didn't display them last year.
Okay.
So our plan is to lean forward this year and put them out there.
Okay, and it's right in front of the 3rd Armored Corps headquarters building at on Sadowski Field.
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Right on Sadowski Field.
And so, just for the past 8 years, how long have you been involved with it over this past 8 years?
Well, I've been back
9 years. 8, 9.
Well, it's 2014, so it is 10
almost
years.
10 years.
Almost 10 years. Yeah. So I've been back involved with it for the last 3 years.
Okay.
Of course, the 1 year we did, and last year, of course, we didn't because of the weather. So it'll be 3 years for me.
Okay, and just how have you seen? What's the back end? What's going on behind the scenes for you guys?
Of course, we had to do the operational orders. Of course, it's obvious that our program can't do it by ourselves. So we have to get the military manpower from soldiers on the installation. Last year, Boss helped us out a great deal by changing out tags, and then just putting the tags together to change out these the tags that fade throughout the years. A lot of work in the background also.
Is there any way for a unit, or if someone who hears this and they're like, man, I want to help out, is there a way that they can reach out to you and maybe help out?
They can contact me on my personal phone. I take all volunteers and assistance we can get because, although we have 100-some soldiers coming out to help put the booths out, it's things that we got to do to get prepared.
Yeah.
Take the signs out there, put signs in, things like that. So I'm welcome to any volunteers.
2 last questions.
Mm-hmm.
So how long does it take to actually set up all those booths? I know it's going to start on the 23rd. What day do you guys actually start preparing to set them out there?
The soldiers pick the booths up that morning of the 22nd.
Okay.
That morning of the 22nd, they'll go to the warehouse, pick the booths up, and we'll start at Old Dark 30, and we'll put the booths down to their finish.
Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to add about the program, about the boot memorial display?
If it's a family member out there that wants to put their service member boot out there, please contact me, and we'll do that. Do that boot for them and get it out there, and put it on display.
We'd like to thank you guys for tuning in with us. Stay tuned. We have some more information right after this break. Bye. And we're back. Now, who do we have here?
Hey everybody, I'm Samantha Harms, also with your Fort Cavazos Garrison Public Affairs Office.
I think we all knew that it was who it was.
Yeah.
So some things come to an end at a certain amount of time, and tell us what's happening here.
Yeah, so for people who have not listened to the last 2 episodes, unfortunately this is going to be our last podcast. It's due to just having to reallocate some of our assets and the resources we have. So yeah, unfortunately we will no longer be producing the Great Big Podcast. That being said, we're going to chat because we've done a lot of episodes together. So we're going to chat a little bit about what the past has kind of looked like. And then just because we're not producing this podcast anymore doesn't mean we're going to stop producing content. We'll still be doing some of the same things, just kind of in a different format. We've got some ideas cooking. We're going to see kind of what some of the very creative and very talented people we have in this office come up with. So I'm very excited.
So the podcast started before both of us got here.
Yes, it did.
It started in December of 2019.
Yeah.
And you came on in December?
I came on in April of 21.
April of 21.
Yeah.
And I came in May of 22.
Yeah.
Together, me and you, I can't remember how many the total podcast. I think we're over 200.
Yeah.
Over 250.
Over 250.
Yeah. But me and you together, we've done 144 We've had a hand.
Yeah.
Either in front of the camera or behind the camera in 142 podcasts.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. It has been fun. I think since we got here, since we started working together, I think it has been an amazing thing. We've had a lot of people come on.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, right before we started recording, I was just asking you what your favorite episode was. We've done so many episodes and had so many amazing guests come on. It's hard to pick a favorite or even like top 5 favorites, you know?
I think for me with the podcast, what I loved from when we were just audio is when people would come in and, they'd sit down with you or they sit down with me or Janice or whoever it was. They'd be like, oh man, I thought this was going to be a lot harder than what it was.
Yeah.
And it was just like, no, this is us.
Yeah.
Like we make you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
The conversations that we have, I think, are the coolest.
Yeah.
Like just some things we may know a little bit about, or some things we know absolutely nothing about. But we always leave with something.
Yes, very true. Yeah, I think even going from the audio only to the video, I know I haven't done that many interviews since we moved to the video portion. But the few I have done, everybody afterward has always been like, wow, coming in here, we've got, excuse me, I'm just breaking our equipment before we're even done.
Yeah, you got to wait.
We've got all this equipment. Obviously, we've got 3 different camera angles. So, there's kind of a lot going on in the room.
Yeah.
So people walking in, I think, are always a little intimidated and a little nervous, especially, the transition from audio only to the video.
Yeah.
But everybody always still leaves saying like, wow, like this was a lot of fun. I had a great time. And yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
I think the one person that we've had on the most, I think that would have to be Chris Albus with Family Housing.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I can see that.
The funny thing is, he's not here to defend himself.
No, he's not.
But I think, matter of fact, it was me and you the first time he did one. It was me and you.
Yes.
We were in here, and he was so nervous.
Yeah.
And I think you interviewed him.
I think he was reading off a paper, wasn't he?
He was. The whole time he was reading off of a paper. And now, if he's like, hey, we need you to do a video. Okay, I got it.
I'm ready.
He's like, as long as you guys are there, I got it.
Yeah.
So I think with the audio, and then when we went to video, I think it's helping those people, those those department heads and those directorate, those supervisors, feel comfortable talking in front of people.
Absolutely.
Because like you're out there once you're on here, like you're out there. You have to live with it. Whatever the outcome is, it's there.
Yeah. I was gonna say some of our, I think, more creative episodes that we've had. So I wasn't here for this one, but I know other people who are in the Third Armored Corps shop now, they were here when they had the drill sergeants come on.
Yeah.
And they yelled at the reporter who was here to do a story. I can't remember who it was either, but we had drill sergeants come on.
Now I have to go back and look. That must have been when I was having the baby. Well, I didn't have the baby.
No.
This
is
was
well
way before.
This is in the beginning of the show.
Okay.
Yeah. I wasn't even here yet.
Okay.
So they did that. They've had the First Cav band came on one time. I also was not here for this. This is before me. And they performed in the actual studio. So they brought the whole band in. Were you here by the time we did tea, where we had how to make tea with a British officer?
Yes, I was. I
brought
was
in
here.
The tea kettle and everything.
Yes, that was the first Cav guy.
Yeah.
Yes, man, that was so. From someone who is an American, Central Texas sweet tea drinker, that tea was different, but it was not bad.
It was very delicious.
It was delicious. Yeah. It was like I could see me getting into an argument with like, I just paid $6 for a gallon of sweet tea. Yeah, I can see myself having those type of conversations with a British service member about tea. But yeah, like I think that was one of. Matter of fact, I think that was one of the first ones that we did in that first summer of when I came on.
I think so. Yeah.
So wow. So you've been here 4 years.
Been here 4 years. Been doing the podcast for 4 years.
Yeah, and I've been here 3 years doing the podcast.
Yeah.
Like this has been probably the biggest part of the biggest enjoyment of my day was or my week was like, oh man, we got to figure out how we can plan this podcast. Mm-hmm. And I think once we moved to video and we started going on location, I think that was great. It was enjoyable, but like all great things, we got to kind of move things around. I'm not mad about it. But I think it's going to open us up to be able to do more creative things. Yeah. So it's going to free us up a little bit more time to give us that more flexibility to go out and do more great things.
Yeah, I totally agree. I know that even getting like dressed today to come in and record the podcast, I was like, wow, this is it. This is going to be our last episode. I definitely felt really sad. I'm still sad, even like sitting here recording this because I've obviously been here 4 years and done this for a long time. And you and I have worked on the podcast like so much together over the last 3 years. And yeah, it's been such a joy to get to do this. And I was just in a meeting the other day where somebody said, oh yeah, Samantha, she's on all the videos, which I thought was really fun. But like you said, unfortunately we have to shift what we're doing. And yeah, I'm excited to see where we go from here. Yeah. What other projects that we're going to take on. And this definitely will not be the last time that you and I sit down in front of a camera together. Oh yeah, no, definitely. I think too, because our leadership trust us enough that they know like, hey, look, we got it. Yeah. They say, if they say Monty, Sam, Janice, Derica, whoever it is, they know if they got a project, they're doing it. Yeah. So I think this isn't going to be the last time. It may not be as long. Correct. But I'm pretty sure here over the next several months you'll see us on camera. Somewhere across the installation. Maybe very rapid fire type stuff. I don't know what that means, but we'll find out, I guess. You will. You most certainly will. But like I said, I think it's been an enjoyable thing to be able to do that on the podcast. Yeah, I agree.
Well, I guess, like, I don't know how, like,
I don't know how to wrap it up, you know,
Yeah, I
like, this
don't know
is it,
either.
we're
This
all
is it.
done, like, bye forever. I hate that.
yeah. Well, I think, you know, I think we'll say this. This is how I think we'll end it.
Okay.
Guys, this has been a most wonderful ride to be able to sit here and tell Fort Cavazos' story on so many topics. But this isn't goodbye. This is just to see you later. We'll still be around. We're still going to be here until they get rid of us. We've already said that with our supervisors. Like, hey, look, we're here till you tell us to go away.
That's right.
So just know that if you have video ideas, we can't promise you that we can make it, but we will try our best to see how we can make it magic, to tell not only Fort Cavazos' story, but the service members, the civilians, the family members, the kids, the spouses, everyone. We want to tell your story, and we thank you guys for tuning in with us for the past, 6 years of the podcast?
Yeah, 5.
Five.
More than 5.
More than
6, technically, if you want to
6,
count.
yeah. We'd like to thank you for tuning in with us or listening to us since 2019. Again, we thank you, and we are more than overjoyed for you guys tuning in every week or listening to us every week. We are to the moon and back.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you guys so much. And for the final time, this is it.
Peace.
Bye.